Good morning from Guam, and welcome to the channel, the new channel. Some of my viewers might remember the cost of living video I did a few years ago when I interviewed an expat from the Philippines. He escaped the Philippines during the pandemic, came to Guam as a newcomer, and since then I know many of my viewers have been waiting for an update on a cost of living video. And I can't believe it's been almost 3 years since I did that video. And the biggest reason for my delay, I have to blame it on the out of control inflation. Things were just going up so fast, prices wise, and it made little sense to try to nail down a true cost of living on the island. I really wanted prices to stabilize before I got busy on this new project. And I also felt that the housing market here, post-pandemic, it was under a lot of pressure, especially rents. We've seen some evidence that prices have flattened out, or in some cases even been reduced. So stick around, there's more to come. When anyone first visits Guam, prices can seem a bit overwhelming. But after living here a while, I can say that you begin to understand how it all plays out. There's definitely a system of three-tier pricing on this island. At least I think there is. First, there's the tourism industry, where tourists pay the ultimate price on most touristy things, like hotels, hotel restaurants, gift shops, and other tourist-related events and attractions. A good example of this might be an introductory scuba diving course or an hour of parasailing. Where locals might get a price break, tourists pay through the nose. Show a local ID at attractions like Fisheye or the Guam Aquarium, and you will likely get a discount. The next pricing tier resides in the housing sector, which is driven by the Department of Defense. Because according to the federal government, Guam is considered a high cost of living area, and because government housing subsidies for government employees drive up the local cost of rents, the relatively greedy landlord community takes full advantage. Case in point, where we live, we pay $900 less for our monthly rent as compared to the same unit which is rented to the DoD community. All aside, when you actually compare rents here with those on the east and the west coasts of the mainland, the prices here seem like a bargain, considering this to be a tropical location. Rents are considerably cheaper here than they are in Hawaii also. Today here you can find studio apartments starting at about $750 and up, with one bedroom and one bath apartments starting at around $1,000. The total number of apartment and condo rentals available today through an online search indicates there are about 266 available units, compared to about 310 about a year ago. I'm not sure this is even accurate anymore, as I see a lot of units sitting empty which are not being advertised online. We live in a 55-unit condo complex, and there are at least 8 units unoccupied, of which only 2 show up in advertised online searches. With all expenses like electricity, water, sanitation, building maintenance costs, pool maintenance, etc., it's all increasing, and it's surprising to see apartment and condo rental costs so stable, and in some cases decreasing. In summary, I'm going to venture a guess and say vacancies are on the rise, at least through much of this past year. Many attribute the reason for this is due to residents fleeing the island in search of better economic opportunities elsewhere. Another idea is that multifamily generational living is on the rise. Our personal budget here in Guam is around $3,000, give or take. We could do it on a little bit less, but we choose not to. We each drive our own vehicle, and we mostly cook at home. What's for lunch? Oh, never mind. It's rare that we go out to dinner, but we'll occasionally do breakfast or lunch somewhere. We entertain ourselves with mostly free activities, and we bowl one league once a week. We would rather sit on the beach and watch the sunset with a cocktail rather than hit some fancy hotel bar. Could we do it on a little less? Like I said, we could, We could descend to the point of eating fish and rice at home every day, but there is no spice in that lifestyle. Our home internet and unlimited phone service runs us about $145 a month, and with a Netflix subscription, we don't want for more. Our electric bill runs about $225 per month, but Guam has been giving a $100 a month credit to electric consumers for some time now, and hopefully into the foreseeable future, until such time as the new power plant comes online early in 2025. The biggest shock expense anyone living in Guam will realize is the cost of groceries, estimated at an average of 30 to 40% above mainland prices. I mentioned earlier that those who have lived here for a while learn the shopping ropes, so to speak, and know where and when to shop for the best savings. Locally grown fruits and vegetables are sometimes made available from sharing and caring friends and neighbors, and also through the farmers markets here. Those residents who have military base shopping privileges can save on grocery and gas purchases by as much as 35% over local pricing. At home, we generally cook in bulk, and we tend to eat a lot of leftovers, which gets us by a little cheaper, and that allows us to eat well at home, like home barbecued ribeye steaks for two on occasion. We budget for about $800 for our personal grocery spend, and we stay pretty close to that, even with a few steaks and burgers here and there. We do $100 for our personal grocery spend, and we stay pretty close to that, tend to eat a lot of rice. There are two larger grocery chains on the island, which I covered in my previous cost of living video, and now with the new donkey store that opened earlier this year, the added composition is helping to preserve a lower cost of goods overall. What you got? Bangus.
That's not the bangus.
Oh, lapu-lapu. Salmon steak, $7.77. This is my favorite right here. Pacific Pompano, $5.51, $5.16. There are numerous family-operated grocery stores as well here, where you can sometimes save money, just by virtue of the easy convenience of not having to drive somewhere. We have two stores within walking distance of our condo. Gas here is averaging about $4.69 per gallon as compared to base pricing of $3.17 per gallon. But keep in mind that this is an island. In all actuality, most people don't have to drive that far unless they want to. I've been on the same tank of gas in my truck now for over 3 weeks. It's not that I don't get out much, it's just that where I go, it doesn't take long to get there. Sometimes we will take in a movie at the mall for about, I think the price is about $10.49. Senior pricing is a real bargain. Or we can get a 1-hour therapeutic oil massage for $52. If you are a retiree with Medicare, VA, or have other portable medical insurance, you can get by with little or no cost out of pocket for health-related services. Retired military folks who retire here have the best of all worlds when it comes to affordability of living here. And if one wants to work full or part-time to help offset living expenses, jobs are fairly easy to come by. They just won't be very high paying. The bottom line is that you can choose to live as economically deficient as you wish, or you could live a highfalutin lifestyle if you could afford to. While a certain standard of living is quantifiable, quality of life is much more subjective, encompassing personal happiness, freedom, and access to basic human rights. We are at the Lone Star Steakhouse in Guam today for lunch. We don't get to come out to a steakhouse very often, just because of the price. Terry would rather cook her steaks at home, like some of you have seen on our channel before. But today, compliments of a valued friend and a subscriber to the channel, he has sent us a gift card. Terry got the shrimp tacos, and she's happy. And just like that, it's gone. And I wasn't even hungry. As you can probably see, Guam can be expensive, but as they say, where there is a will, there is a way. Over the years, I've had many guys who are retired in the Philippines ask me about the cost of living here, and unfortunately, I've had to tell them it can be almost impossible on just a Social Security check alone. But if one has an additional or supplemental income and or a partner that don't mind working to help offset living costs, life can be good here. Can one live here on less than what we do? Absolutely. And here's the proof. Hi, we're here at the USO because they gave us this conference room that I could use. And with me today is Jack, my friend. Jack comes from Arizona.
Correct.
Yeah. And Jack was a subscriber at one time, and now he's here on Guam. We're going to talk to Jack about why he came to Guam and a little bit about his experience with the cost of living on this island. So, Jack, tell us where you're from.
Originally from Minnesota, but I was just born and raised in Duluth. But most recently, last several years in Arizona, and staying last couple of years until I came back to Guam to get an apartment was in December of last year. Sierra Vista, Arizona, just outside of Fort Huachuca, a very large historic Army post.
Where's that at? In Arizona?
Arizona, Cochise County, southeast of Tucson, about 75 miles.
Okay. Retired Air Force.
Correct. Through
20
years. My last 10 were through the reserves.
So Jack's a veteran.
The Army as well before that.
And you were stationed at Anderson one time.
Correct.
Here in Guam.
Correct. TDY.
Almost about the same time I was stationed at the Weather Center in Nimitz, early 70s.
Close, yes.
Yeah. I was here 74 to 76, my first time. You were here, I think, a little bit before that.
1972.
Yeah.
We're bombing Vietnam.
So, what brings you back to Guam?
Kind of like rehash.
Oh, you're not going to say because I watched all your YouTube videos?
Well, that did help. That encouraged me more.
Yeah.
But I came back to
You just missed the island.
I missed the island, and it's a lot better time being retired than during the Vietnam era.
Yeah. Now, I've always said, and I've said this a lot, that Guam, if you ever live here on this island, Guam becomes an affliction there is no cure for.
Yeah.
It never leaves your mind. I don't care where you go, how long you spend in your working life, Guam never leaves your mind. It's always...
You're right, yeah.
Especially in the wintertime, you think about Guam a lot.
I hate cold weather.
So the real reason here is you just wanted to revisit the island, but you've settled here.
Correct. I enjoy the island life and get away from all the stuff in the States. I never get away because of electronic media and all that.
Yeah.
But it's a nice escape.
It is.
The beaches are beautiful. And you know me, I like to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good motorcycle community here. We do a lot of things for veterans and fundraising for community. And riding around the island, like Jeff's Pirates Cove, cool places to visit.
Yeah.
And the beaches, so many little villages that are really nice. And there's so many restaurants. So there's no way I'm going to hit up all the nice places to eat.
And that leads me to the next question.
Yeah.
How do you compare Guam today versus what it was like back in the early 70s?
Different as far as the activity.
Yeah.
And the population is increased. Food choices are much better. We had one McDonald's.
Yeah, I remember that.
And at the time, in 72, they had just opened, just before I got here. And it was the largest McDonald's in the world at one time.
Yeah.
And there were no Kmart, no Home Depot.
So you live here now.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you if you'll share some of the expenses that you incurred relocating to Guam and settling in Guam.
I shipped a motorcycle ahead of time, and I flew commercial from Honolulu to Guam, and it was like $1,540 for one bag with me I had to pay for.
$1,540 for one way?
Yes, from Honolulu, and that was exact same price as it would have been from Tucson if I would just got the commercial flight from Tucson in
Yeah.
2023,
Okay.
December.
So it
early
cost you
December.
$1,500 and change to get on an airplane to fly here. When you got here, you found an apartment. Tell us about what it's costing you to actually rent your place.
A little studio for $1,200 a month, and it includes utilities with Wi-Fi
And Wi-Fi too?
and Wi-Fi.
So $1,200 all inclusive.
Correct.
You're right in the heart of Mooning, basically.
Correct. Yeah. It's central location. Everything's convenient.
Okay. So $1,500 to get here. $1,200 apartment?
Correct.
You have to put a deposit in?
Deposit $1,200. Yeah.
Okay, so
First,
it's $2,400 to get into the apartment. Of course, the nice thing is you retire military, so you can shop on base. All your groceries and personal goods you can buy on base.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Major savings. Yes.
I did a previous interview from a guy that came to Guam from Davao. His name was Ken,
Uh-huh.
and Ken stayed for about 2 years, I think, and he finally went back to Mindanao. He basically said it takes approximately $3,000 to live here a month. Would you agree with that? Or could you do it on less?
I do. I probably cost me a little bit less.
Okay.
So I'm just be a single guy, and I don't have.
But you're in a studio, $1,200 a
Studio,
month.
yeah.
Shop on the base.
Correct. Shop. I'm halfway between the Navy base in the south and the Air Force base in the north.
He was not a veteran, so he didn't have base shopping privileges.
That's
So he said basically $3,000 a month you would need as a minimum to live as a single guy on this island.
Well, me, I pay about 20, with my pocket expenses and stuff, $2,200 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they like to go out and eat and enjoy the island, right?
Yeah, and you do have veterans benefits, so that's a big plus.
Oh yeah.
And you're obviously old like me, so you have Medicare.
Right.
You also have military insurance, which is TRICARE, and then you've got the VA that you can fall back on.
Absolutely.
Transportation, you ship your motorcycle.
Right.
My wife and I both have our own vehicles. And I used to ride here years ago in Guam when I was working on Nimitz Hill. I had bikes,
Yeah.
and I can remember dodging rain clouds to get to work and try to stay dry, but I don't know if I could do the motorcycle anymore in the rain. You're more of a man than I am, guy.
Well, it's more fun when it's not raining. I can tell you. I have rain gear with me all the time.
That's true.
But
you can't carry a mop and bucket on a motorcycle.
Right. And you can't. Yeah. So at any rate, I will end up getting a car.
So do you ever shop on the local economy?
Oh yes. I have shopped until my motorcycle got here. I just had a bicycle, which I still have. It's good exercise. Put my backpack on. I ride over to Payless.
Okay.
I don't shop there much anymore. So
Payless is a chain of grocery stores on this island. I think there's maybe 7 of them.
Correct.
And then there's Cost You Less,
Cost you less.
which is like a mini Costco. It's a big box store. But have you ever shopped at Cost You Less?
I walked in there one time and I saw that it was a warehouse type, similar to Costco.
Yeah.
And I said, "That's not for me."
The prices, generally speaking, if you have to shop on the local economy, are, in my guesstimation, about 30% more than on base.
Probably.
Yeah, as an average.
But if you don't have the military retirement benefits, if I was retired military and I wanted to stay in Guam, I'd be doing a lot of shopping there.
At Payless.
Oh yeah.
And Costco.
And Costco.
I mean Costco.
Costco.
Cost You Less.
Payless is good for it's close. So if I just need a couple of items, I just hop over and get
Now,
it.
my wife will shop at Payless a couple times a week, but she'll like not necessarily the beef products, but the fish. A lot of selection of fish products, squid,
Yeah.
fish, pork, and chicken are very reasonably priced as compared to the on-base prices. Beef is a little higher.
Yeah.
So she'll buy a lot of fish, pork, and chicken, and just odds and ends. But if she don't want to drive the 12 miles down to the base to pick something up, she'll shop at Payless. But yeah, it does cost a little bit more. But
It does.
how do you like the food on Guam?
Love it. The choices,
So many choices.
and it is so good. And I'm not like overweight, but I like food so much.
I am.
I didn't notice, but I would like it. It's so easy to I can understand because it's so easy just to go. The food is so good and there's so many choices and you want to keep coming back. But then you have to look at your monthly expenses.
You went to the the Labor Day picnic in the park.
I did, yes.
All the food.
I couldn't
I
believe
did a video on it. I'll put it up. I'll put a thing up here. But yeah, all the food is just amazing.
and to get offered. I mean, I had just eaten at one, under one tent cover. So I'm walking to the other one because I want to get in touch with you. So I'm looking at my phone, and there's a lady there, and I wasn't with her group. She said, "You want something to eat?" And I go, "I'm sorry, I just ate."
I think I ate.
Wow.
I ate at 3 different tents before I even considered having dessert. Yeah, just at another tent.
And the people here, the locals.
Yeah.
If they ask you, "Are you hungry?" They have something to eat. They don't even know you.
This is the culture of Guam. Guam is a Southeast Asian, a mix of Southeast Asian, East Asian, and Pacific Islander, and everybody is friendly. It's a welcoming culture.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of serious crime here. We got a lot of petty crimes and a few burglaries here and there, not like back in the mainland.
No, and you don't have freeways or railroads to contend.
The weather here is 365, 7 days a week. It's sunny and hot and humid, with bouts of rain.
Occasional typhoon.
We just went through 2 or 3 weeks of rain, just almost nonstop. But we're in the middle of typhoon season, so beaches. You already mentioned beaches are beautiful.
Yes.
They're free.
Yes.
People have asked me in the past, how much does it cost to park at the beach? It doesn't cost anything. There is no beach parking. No charge for beach parking anywhere in this island.
It's just like if I want to go to the beach, I take my little motorcycle. If I had a car, I rent a car sometimes, right? I just park and where we are,
Yeah.
the USO and everything. I just go into the garage and just park, enjoy myself, walk around inside, shop.
There's a lot of places on this island where you can park literally within 25 feet of the beach, from here to the water, and it's not crowded.
And there's so many restaurants with views.
Yeah. What's your future plans?
Future plans is to spend as much time in Guam as I can. I have to go back and forth to the States, family and everything.
So this is going to be home for a while.
Yeah. I told the lady here yesterday, I'm going to stay in Guam as long as I'm breathing. I'm going to spend as much time as I can in Guam.
You ever thoughts of maybe moving to the Philippines?
Crossed my mind, but I definitely would like to visit. Definitely.
Maybe you can, someday when we're at home in Samar, you can come for a visit.
That would be nice. I would enjoy that. The village is off the beaten track.
Very off the beaten track, yeah.
Yeah, it would be very nice.
Deep in the province, as we say.
Yeah, and getting involved with the people in a real, everyone's a real person, but the real quote people
Real
of
culture,
the
real
culture.
yeah.
Get away from the large cities, get into the villages, no matter where you are.
All right, Jack. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, and we'll run into you again someday, I'm sure.
My pleasure, Randy.
Okay, thanks.
Take care of you all. Have a good day.
Jollibee, we're going in. We're down the end. Aren't you excited, huh?
Excited for what?
If you like what you heard, and even if you don't, won't you please, pretty please, subscribe. Well, I hate to beg and I hate to plead, but please, pretty freaking please, please subscribe.